My name's Dave Dubeau, founder of MoneyPartnerFormula.com, and this show is built for everyday real estate investors who are actively doing deals and looking to scale using other people's money. So if you're an active real estate investor and you want to get featured on this show to talk about your own real estate and capital raising experiences, then just go to daveinterviewsyou.com. Now let's get rolling with this episode, and remember to subscribe for daily interview content.
Hey gang, welcome back. Today our special guest is Mike Strodtman. He is zooming in from beautiful Bemidji, Minnesota. And Mike is involved in a variety of different asset classes within real estate, big deals, small deals, in-between size deals, self-storage, I believe. He's a busy kind of guy. He's been doing this for quite a few years. And he is the owner-operator of Blue Skies Equity. So Mike, welcome to the show. Great to have you.
Dave, I appreciate you having me.
And we were talking a little bit off camera. We've got pretty similar accents.
We do. Yes, being only an hour and 45 from the Canadian border, a lot of people, when I talk to people that are farther down south, a lot of times they will ask if I am from Canada.
Everybody asks me all the time if I'm from Minnesota. So there we go.
There we go.
So Mike, give us a little snapshot. Right now we're recording this pretty close to the beginning of 2026. What does real estate investing look like for you and Blue Skies Equity? What do you guys like to buy?
Yeah, so we really focus on multifamily assets. As a lot of us know, this 2024, 25, 26 has been a tough time to find good assets. A lot of people are sitting there with prices that they need to get, but on paper, they really don't make sense right now. So we are always looking for deals, always looking for more multifamily assets, but it's been harder to find them. We did just close one at the end of in November of 25.
Nice. Congratulations.
But, so it's been great. But yeah, going into 2026, definitely been making some calls, working with brokers, and even working directly with property owners, trying to see if they'd be interested in selling.
So you're in Minnesota. Where do you typically buy?
Yeah, so I really like to focus within my market. I know the market extremely well. I know a lot of the owners, if not every single owner. But we do have assets in like Colorado Springs. We own and operate one there. And when we do buy out of state, I really want to focus on the sponsors that I'm going to be working with. Mm-hmm. I want somebody there. I want somebody that knows the market and knows what they're doing. So that's what we're able to do in Colorado was find an individual that has real estate and actually has their own property management company too. So I find that to be a huge asset when they know the market, they have real estate in that market. And then they have a management company that we can rely on. Asset management or property management is key. And even here with the property that we have here in Minnesota, there too, I have a property management company and I oversee
your own in-house company.
We do. Yeah. We have our own in-house property management company. So we got the bookkeeper, couple maintenance guys. I've got a leasing agent and, she takes care of all, the tenant requests and calls. So yeah, it works out really well. I've just seen too many times where trying to work with outside property management company where it can get tricky. You also see your expenses start to increase so fast and delinquencies and
nobody cares like you do, right? That's the bottom.
100%. Yeah. No, that's 100%. And just a neat little story recently, we've got this asset that we just took over. We've got probably 4 tenants that are.
What size is it? What size of an property is it?
That's a 36 unit building.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep. And so we had 4 tenants that were pretty far behind on rent. But, a lot of times the property management company, as soon as you get to, 18 days out of non-payment, they'll just start the paperwork for the eviction process. What we really try to do is focus on working with the tenants and finding them the resources to get them caught up. There are, if you really do your homework, there's a lot of resources out there to help tenants. And just to make the story quick, is in working with those tenants And instead of trying to, they're already behind $2,000 in rent. So instead
of trying to give them the punt and get them out of there and get nothing.
Yeah. Yep. And then you got attorney fees.
Yeah.
And then you got to file eviction paperwork, which so now they're going to be there a couple more months not paying rent. And by doing the math, it's about a $30,000 swing just by that paperwork
for all four of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Exactly.
Wow, that's crisp.
No, yeah, for all four of them combined. So when you look at your expenses, and not to have to go through the eviction process, and that's savings. Not having to pay an attorney, having someone get them caught up on rent. So
what are other resources that you help them with to get them caught up? Because this is interesting. This is a different take on things. So I'm appreciating this, Mike.
Yeah. So up here there are. And the gal that does the leasing for us, she has them all listed on paper, and we actually email them to the tenant and let them know and give them the names and the phone numbers and the resources. But there's a couple church organizations. Even we work very closely with BICAP and Section 8 and other housing agencies in town, where if we can work with them and try to expedite that process, for the tenant, and let them know that we have a tenant that's behind and they're good and we've got a great relationship with them. Sometimes they can help speed up that process and get them that emergency funds to get them caught up, and then also to do the long-term paperwork of potentially getting them assistance on a monthly basis after that.
Hey there, if you're a capital raiser, a syndicator, or a fund manager, and you're looking for a steady flow of incoming accredited investor leads, then go ahead, grab a free copy of my new book, How to Get 20 Accredited Investor Meetings Every Month Without Cold Calling, Networking, or Chasing People. You can get that at 20accreditedinvestorsbook.com. Again, that's the number 20accreditedinvestorsbook.com.
That is so cool. I was not aware of that, Mike. That's really, really smart. So you had these four. Where are you at in the process with these people, and what's that actually panned out to be for you?
Yeah. So what we've done is those agencies will then reach out to us with a letter that states, hey, so-and-so's reached out to us that they're back on rent. We want to give you a letter to inform you that we are working with them and we'll be able to get them the funds available. So if you could please put the eviction process on hold, we greatly appreciate it. And it's a letter. It's a guarantee letter, really, that they're going to come up with those funds.
So have you gotten those for all four tenants, or how many have you gotten these for?
Yeah, so we've got that for 3 tenants already. Nice. The fourth one is a little bit slower in their side of the communication with these groups. So we can, as they say,
I guess you can't get the group to reach out to the tenant. The tenant actually has to do that and reach out to the group. Now, do you have your property management person, your leasing person, go in person to try to talk with these people, to like this fourth person, to try and get them on board with this? Because, emails get lost and yada, yada, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so we do. We will actually go door to door, and we'll try to stop there at different times of the day, different days of the week, and try to catch them.
They're probably trying to avoid you. They're behind on rent, huh?
Yeah, and you're right. Sometimes they're just afraid to reach out. They think that it'd be scary to talk to us or whatever. And we always try to tell them the last thing we want to do is go through the eviction process and get that onto their record. Because once it's on their record, it can be very hard for them to find another place to live. One of our criteria is, and application forms is, have you been evicted? Because if they're willing to go all the way through that process, they're probably not the greatest tenant. So, instead of, because otherwise we'll find ways, if they're not able to find help, maybe they're just able to move out. We're willing to just,
cut the ties cleanly, right?
Yeah.
About sooner.
Exactly.
That's really interesting, Mike. I've done close to 2,000 of these interviews. You're the first guy I've spoken with that kind of has this outlook on thing. And I think that's really smart, especially when you explain it that, you crunch the numbers, and at the end of the day, evicting a tenant between lost rent and legal costs and all this kind of stuff, it's getting close to $10,000 for one tenant. I mean, you said 30 grand for all four, but 10-ish for one, or 8 or whatever it is. Yeah, that's significant.
Yep, it is, because that eviction process isn't quick. And while they live there, If it's 45 days, 60 days, that's more unpaid
more
rent.
lost rent. Yeah. Plus any damage they might be doing to the property and get their noses out of joint and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So you mentioned that primarily you focus on your local market. Minnesota is a pretty big state. So what is your local market within the state?
Yeah. So right now we're kind of hitting about a 60-mile radius. That is
what?
Of Bemidji.
All right. So for everybody who's not familiar with Bemidji, give us a little snapshot of what that market size is.
Yeah. So Bemidji has a population of about 16,000 people. We have a 4-year university and a tech school. We've got a great healthcare system that employs a lot of people. And, really, it's kind of the regional hub of north central Minnesota. So we have a big draw from a lot of area north of us, east, west, and south. And again, they come for shopping, they come for school, they come for medical services. So we kind of have a pretty big draw. Again, when other people look at market size, they're like, wow, I've never seen something so small. But, that service area is probably 60,000+.
Well, hey, man, you're talking to a Canadian who comes from a small town. So, yeah, I am very familiar with that.
Yeah, exactly. And what's
lots of opportunity. Yeah.
What's neat is we have a housing shortage. So there's a lot of need for housing. Even this new building that we took it over, it had 2 vacancies. We were able to get them full. We're sitting at 100% occupancy. And I've been able to operate the rest of my portfolio in town at 100% occupancy for many years. So there is definitely a need for housing in our community.
So I think you mentioned that it's challenging these days with multifamily anywhere to find deals that pencil and make sense. You got that one. That was a good one. But I think you also mentioned that you're flexible. You do larger and smaller sized properties. So what does the portfolio currently consist of, Mike?
Yeah, so we've got that 36-unit building in Bemidji. The other properties that I do have in Bemidji range from single families to duplexes, triplexes, fourplexes. I've done some of what I have. I kind of to back up a little bit. So I used to buy properties that were very distressed, where we'd go in and do major remodels on them. Did that for quite a while as the prices kept on rising.
Like flips, you mean?
What's that?
Flips, you mean?
Actually, I did not flip them. I would just buy them, renovate them, and then rent them out.
Oh, okay. So like the Burr method, or did you bother refinancing?
I did not. I have not. Recently, I've done a couple deals to grab some cash and buy other assets. But mainly it's just been letting it ride. And then I did some ground up construction too. As the prices kept on creeping up, it got to the point where I could build them for just a little bit more than I could buy them. And now I've got a brand new building where we look at repairs and maintenance and upkeep, and it pushes that time frame out quite a ways. So I've done some ground up construction also.
Very cool. So you've got the portfolio, you've got the management company. Which came first?
Yeah. So the management company just actually recently came about.
Okay.
So what I like to do is, for example, the Colorado property, that was a syndication. The most recently one I did, I actually had a number of investors reach out to me that had some more liquidity. And so we were able to do a joint venture on this last deal, where we're just able to bring in a few partners, individuals that I know, and we own and operate that together. With that, is when I really needed to step up and develop a property management company. I'd been thinking about it for years, talking about it for years, and it's like, oh, I'll just do that. And really, you get to that point where you're kind of burning the candle at both ends. And that's when I finally decided. I just said, you know what, it's time.
So I've spoken to some other folks in that space, and it seems like, if I recall correctly, it makes financial sense at around 400 doors, 400 units under management. What have you found, Mike? Is that what's kind of your target for your management company? Obviously, the more the better, but what do you have in mind there?
Yeah, so for the management side of that, I am only and strictly going to manage my own properties. I don't have an interest in managing others. in regards to the magical number, what I've done is the people that are working for me, they're part-time. So it's not really their full-time gig. I've got 2 individuals that do repairs and maintenance for me, outside of contractors that I use for larger projects. But they also work for other property managers and other landlords in town too. So they don't strictly work for me, along with my leasing agent. She also has a part-time job. Also, she's loving it, which is great. And she wants to make this a full-time gig. So that's part of why we need to keep.
You're going to have a fractional management company.
Yes. Yep. Yeah. Exactly.
It's really cool. So, Mike, one question I always like to ask people is, you've been in real estate for a long time. This, I believe, is your full-time gig. What do you love the most about it?
Yeah. So a crazy thing, Dave, is I do have a W-2 job also. So I'm not one to sit down very long. I love being busy. Yeah. And it kind of goes right into your question. It's kind of the chase. Always trying to find the next deal. I never, ever want to overextend myself. For example, we're continually reaching out to owners and brokers to find the next deal. But I always make sure that I buy an asset, I get it stabilized. I make sure I know exactly where it is, what I want done with it, before I fully jump onto the next one. And this latest building is a good example. We had a storm come through. We've got a new roof. We've got new siding. We just had all brand new windows put in on it, 126 windows. We've got a new water heater going in. We've got new security going in. So coordinating all them pieces, and we're pretty much done now. We've got 100% occupancy. So that gives me the time to now focus and start looking at the next deal.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea, man. No, chew what you got before you bite off more, right?
You do, and I see that often where they just constantly want to put them in a pipeline and then kind of forget the ones that they have. And it's important to keep on top of those. If you're going to make them cash flow and operate the way that your business plan is wrote out, it's important to have a close set of eyes on them.
Yeah, good advice. Mike, if people want to connect with you and find out more about you and Blue Skies, where should they go?
Yeah, if you want to reach out, please do go to blueskiesequity.com. In there, you can set up a call with me, get signed up for our newsletter. I always try to take real estate and break it down into bite-sized pieces, explain from start to finish, all the different definitions, what we look for, why we look for it. And please sign up for that and utilize that information. Let us know what else you want to hear about. Because, with anything, the more education we can have, either if you're a limited partner or you're buying real estate on your own, the more information you have at hand, the better. It's a lot easier to learn from others than to learn on your own.
Figure it all out by yourself, for sure.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Mike, thanks so much for being on the show. It's been a lot of fun.
I appreciate it, Dave. Thank you.
All right, everybody. See you on the next one.
Hey there. I really hope you enjoyed that episode. And as always, if you want to listen to more daily interview content, make sure you subscribe. And if you're an active real estate investor and you're doing deals and you'd like to get featured on this show, then just head over to daveinterviewsyou.com.